Hello everybody, this is JRChunks21, and I realize I normally have some background and some props for this, but I decided I'd do a face video. A buddy of mine, well, not really a buddy, a new subscriber to the channel got to me on social media and requested this video. And I hinted at it in my teaser video and whatnot. Our ban list series, which we are now calling the List of Love, which I just realized is LOL, but it is not a joking matter, I am being serious in these, has requested Exodia the Forbidden One to be our video. And I already told you the ending to this, which is usually where I decide what I think could happen with Exodia. And I think it needs to remain at 1. There's no reason to put it at 2, no reason to put it at 3, no reason to ban it. It's fairly easy to counter and fairly easy to deal with. But to run down the list, there are a couple of ways to win without ever inflicting life point damage to your opponent in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You've got Exodia the Forbidden One, the Final Countdown, decking them out, or the Destiny Board method. All of these methods take a great deal of time and luck and effort to put together. Exodia requires you have all 5 pieces in your hand or on the field. I didn't know about the on the field thing until recently when I saw my buddy Terrell in college duel with it. Final Countdown takes 20 turns. 20 turns to win. But once it's activated, there's no stopping it. You have to win in 20 turns, and nowadays that's not really a problem. You know, Zodiac can win in 3 turns with a good hand, so. Next you have the Destiny board, which fills up your spell and trap card zone and makes it almost impossible to win, because all they have to do is take out 1 piece. And you have Deck Out, which, I mean, if you're playing against Lightsworn, it's easy. They're going to deck themselves out sometimes. But I wanted to get into Exodia, and I thought I'd bring up all the stuff that Exodia has known, some of the trivia. So this is right off the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki. I've got it pulled up on my phone right here. I'm making this in between matches of WWE Battlegrounds, so the Fallout 4 video will be shot a little bit later, and these are going up hopefully before 10 a.m. tomorrow. So, to begin with, Exodia appears in the artwork of Contract with Exodia. This card appears in the artworks of Exchange and Damaging Hand. In the English dub, this card is nicknamed the Exodia Head, since this artwork is mostly a close-up of Exodia's head. In the anime, this card's non-card form is only Exodia's head. In all international versions of this card, Spellbinding Circle appears in their artworks. In the Japanese version, it is a pentagram star that is depicted. The reason behind that is, for those of you that aren't aware, a pentagram in medieval times was alchemical, and some of you that watch Fullmetal Alchemist know this. But nowadays, it is considered devil's worship to the wide variety of religious people. So a lot of religious stuff and stuff that borders on the occult is taken out of the English version, the international versions. But Japan themselves don't give a fuck. They'll put stuff that is totally inappropriate in the card work. The Pokemon TCG has a good example of Grimer looking up a schoolgirl's skirt. Nowadays, the FCC would have something to say about that. Nowadays, stuff like that happens. Nowadays, that gets censored. Especially here in America, we're a little bit more sensitive about that thing. About that kind of stuff. And I'm not a politically correct person, I think it's bullshit. I don't believe in some of this political correctness bullshit that happens in this country. So, take that with a grain of salt. Exodia's dismemberment appears to be a reference to the Egyptian god Osiris, who was killed by his brother and dismembered. And in all of the mythos of Egypt, Osiris was the king, and his brother Set dismembered him and spread the parts across Egypt. Osiris' sister slash wife, Isis, reformed the body of Osiris except for one part. The one part every man doesn't want to lose. Well, I think every man. The penis. Sorry, I know this is supposed to be more of a PG-13, but I'm a big mythology person. Rome, Greece, Egypt, etc. So, when Osiris was brought back to life, he was no longer able to rule the world of the living, because he's dead. So he became the god of judgment in the afterlife. So, there's that. Due to the 5 cards only featuring the head and 4 limbs, the full body cannot be seen within those cards. The Bandai version of this card is level 8, the Konami version is level 3. This card is the first ever card released to permit an automatic win. This is the only card whose effect text contained either of the words victory or automatic. The phrase has since been changed, along with all other win condition cards, to you win the duel instead of automatic victory. This card, along with its limbs, have kept the same status on the Forbidden and Limited list longer than any other card in the game. They have all been banned. They have all been limited since the lists were started. The card was one of the first 5 cards ever released to have a card effect in it. The other 4 were Armed Ninja, Maneater Bug, Hane, and Reaper of the Cards. Out of all 5 this is the only one that doesn't have a flip effect. Exodia's complete form has 4 counterparts. Exodia Necros, which comes with Exodia, the contract of Exodia. Exodius, the ultimate forbidden lord. The legendary Exodia incarnate, and Exod, the master of the guard. This is the first card set that can only be used to its fullest if a set of cards is gathered in a player's hand. In Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses, this card had to be on the field to win. The Master Collection Volume 1 release of this card had a typo that missed the letter R in your, which led to the text saying all 5 pieces in U hand. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Generations, when this card's victory condition is achieved, the winning player will declare either Exodia Final or face the Unstoppable. So, Exodia is, still to this day, people build decks with Exodia. As I've mentioned in the past, my buddy Rockrun at his high point ran 4 Exodia decks. Chainburn Exodia, Banned Exodia, which ran Fiber Jar, Cyber Jar, Morphing Jar, just straight up asinine band deck. Secret Library, Spell, Draw, Quick Exodia as we call it, but it's Secret Library spell combos, and a slower version of it. Now I think he just runs the Quick Draw Exodia and the Chainburn Exodia, giving him 2 different win conditions. Ever since Exodia was released, there's always been people that try to cheat when they put it in the deck. It's incredibly hard to pull off an Exodia combo, and usually if your opponent can get most of the pieces or all of the pieces in their opening hand, I do believe tournaments have it that if you get all the pieces in your hand, in your first hand, they automatically disqualify you because you cheated, but I'm not sure about that. I don't go to tournaments. But Exodia is a dangerous card. To this day, it still is. It's an automatic win condition. You really can't fight Exodia once they have everything they need. The easiest ways to counter Exodia is to destroy the hand. There are search cards. I do believe there are cards that aren't banned that you can run that let you call out a card's name. If you know your opponent's running Exodia in the deck, you use the card to call out one of the pieces and banish it permanently from the game. Now, I've seen some players run Exodia decks with recycling. That's why I say banish, because if you put it back in the deck, they're going to get it back into their hand. If you put it in their graveyard, they'll put it back in the deck or into their hand. Honestly, in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, there's really two places that I found that are the safest place to put stuff, except for Exodia and win conditions, and that is the banish pile and the deck. Auto win conditions, the only place you can put it that's probably the best place to put it is the banish pile. It's going to stop them from getting it back likely, and that's your key to winning. Now, most people that run Exodia decks do run other win conditions, and I believe that's smart. If you're banking on Exodia, all you have to do is take the one piece out, and at that point, you pretty much better scoop. I realized this was supposed to be the Monster Reborn video. I had a subscriber get to me on social media to suggest this, and I said, yes, I'll do it. So if you guys want to watch, if you guys want to make suggestions, leave it in the comments. Send it to me on Twitter. I will do, if you guys suggest it, I will do it. I'll have to do some research, you know. Someone might suggest, well, do the Dragon Rulers. Well, I don't know shit about the Dragon Rulers, to be honest with you. I didn't play really with other people during that format. I was moving between states, so I didn't really have an opponent to duel, so I didn't duel the Dragon Ruler format. But if you guys have this suggestion, I will do it. Once the pay-per-view that I'm watching is over, I'm watching it on the WWE Network, I will do the Fallout 4 video. So please, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share. This is another series that I'm doing where it's the list of love. Or LOL, as I realize. It will discuss the ban list, semi-limited, and limited. I will not do discussions on what I think should be on the ban list, because if I'm going to be honest, it's going to be Zodiac and some Kaijus. I don't really care for Kaijus, but that's just me. So, leave a like, a comment, share and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, check out the Patreon, support me, be active in the community. I'd love to hear from some of you guys. So, have a good day.